Which completely baseless claim has someone presented to you with utter seriousness? I really enjoy going to the gym. Day he told me he doesn't do leg day because if you just work out your upper body you'll get more muscle and weight pressing down on your legs, so your legs will get big since you have a big upper body. I thought he was joking, so I laughed, but he looked genuinely confused. He had a very muscular upper body, but to this day, I've never seen his legs. My 80-year-old mother-in-law lives in an apartment built into my house and her mind is going. She called my wife the other day and asked that whoever keeps coming down and pooping in her toilet late at night to please make sure they flush. She was on speaker, so I was listening to the whole conversation, and no matter the logic my wife threw at her, she swears that someone poops in her toilet and doesn't flush and it's not her. Here in Denmark, there is a long-standing claim that the Danish Queen King is good for our export opportunities. Yeah, sure. Durations when you show them a picture of an older lady with a tiara, wearing a long silk gown, or a middle-aged man in a fancy military uniform, both of them displaying an Order of the White Elephant. People think I'm gay. It gets it so often. I'm a girl. I don't date co-workers always leads to a rumor that I may be gay. I don't correct people at this point. I find it a little amusing, indifferent tbh. I compliment everyone the same. I like your shirt. I like your outfit. Apparently I type emails like a man. I guess that makes me gay too. The ultrasound place said they'll give me the liter of water to drink before doing the imaging. My father earlier today. Now I'd like to throw in he also stated that it was to be drunk an hour before, and that his appointment was at 1:30, and we were to arrive at 1:15. Even funnier is he got the time wrong and was booked at 12:30. But yeah, we got it sorted. A lot of people on this app fight so hard to make a point that when challenged on what it means to them, they use links and articles as a way to express their opinion. But that's just information you can use to strengthen your opinion. It's not actually your opinion. I'm like, so what are you actually fighting for? It's so empty. They have a rather dated fresco of what can only be assumed to be the Christian version of God, creating and overseeing the dinosaurs from above, complete with a white, bushy beard and a staff in hand. I feel as though this bears repeating this as a school. I had a teacher in a youth religion class say all Jews are going to hell, and made us watch propaganda videos on this. I was the only one that spoke up and was like, well, you're getting a little wild, my dude. I'm 100% an atheist. It's something your family makes you do if they're Catholics. It has been well established for hundreds of years that Democrats are cannibalistic and satanic. From a co-worker. My response was HMN. And I walked away. My other favorite is Trump was the best president the United States has ever had and was the best at anything you measure. That natural blondes had gone extinct, and that if you ever saw a blonde woman she had dyed it to try to trick and deceive men. When I asked him about men who dyed their hair blonde, he started questioning my sexuality and told me that real men never notice other men's hair color. As she hadn't seen me in years, my aunt thought that if I turned to Jesus I would accept myself as a girl because right now I think I'm a guy because a demon has possessed me to make me think like that. TF. My science teacher suburban Fort Worth TX told us that he personally thought that scientists were exaggerating when they said that the world is billions of years old. He said he thought it was more like thousands of years old and that scientists were exaggerating. My ex is Wiccan. She once worked with die-hard Christians. They would routinely and seriously ask her things like, do you fight demons on the weekend? One even asked her if she ever danced naked in the forest. Her response was only during Beltane. Lotta October 7th denial and genocide claims going around Reddit. There's a Sartre quotation that roughly goes, the anti-Semite doesn't accuse the Jew of theft out of belief that he is a thief, but for the pleasure of seeing him forced to turn out his pockets. My girlfriend for her entire life up until 2 years ago was under the impression that rubber was made out of pigskin. When I asked her what made her think that, she couldn't tell me. I informed her that actually, rubber comes from a plant. That people used to live much longer, hundreds of years. The evidence for this claim was Methuselah, whom the Bible said lived to be 969. That was apparently both literal and true. And things have just changed since then. This was back in middle school. So I cut the girl a bit of slack now. Cheese is made of horse throw up. Besides the obvious fact that cheese is made of milk, it's worth noting that horses are physically incapable of vomiting. My niece and nephew have confidently told me dinosaurs didn't exist. The oldest person was 969 years old, Methuselah. And the moon landing wasn't real. Yes, they're homeschooled. And yes, my sister is batshit crazy. COVID vaccines are turning the frogs gay. Look, I'm not here to judge the sexual preferences of any amphibians, but that one dude I saw in the pond last week was definitely bipolar a few weeks ago. I was waiting for my union rep to turn up. He did. We sat down and the first sentence was, "You know the earth is hollow. Has tubes in it and aliens live in these tubes." I resigned the next day. If evolution is real, why aren't there cave paintings depicting it? Later on he also asked, if evolution is real, at what point did humans lose their ability to talk to apes? I was eating lunch with a co-worker the other day, and he was drinking a Red Bull. He took a drink and with a straight face said, "Did you know that Red Bull is not carbonated? That Hamas is a valid resistance group, and they didn't target Israeli civilians on October 7th. And Hamas does not intentionally target civilians as a matter of course. That I was involved in organized crime, and that I was involved in human trafficking and was an assassin, or that I was involved using BCI and related technologies, that he was descended from Charlemagne." He then in the next breath said he could trace his family back to the 12th century. Charlemagne died in the 9th century. The moon landing was faked. And then why to give evidence? But it can all literally be debunked just by looking at the picture. Or common sense. That the 220 is the best caliber for self-defense, because it will bounce around and turn your insides to soup. No, it will not. Chihuahua uprising. Millions of Chihuahuas are waiting underground for the right moment to start their rebellion. A girl in my wedding who I used to be close with claimed that the government was poisoning us fire, clouds and rain. That COVID was made in a lab using snake venom. Guy I work with spends a lot of time on Facebook to get his news. Drinking cold water would give me kidney disease. I could heal my PCS by eating better. Vaccines cause autism. People near the ocean age faster and have more locomotive system issues due to iron in their blood. Rusting. That the reason her sinuses were bleeding was because of the chemtrails and not all the cocaine she did. That the earth is moving closer to the sun. That's why we are having global tiet. Women breastfeed in public because they're exhibitionists and want men to stare at their boobs. Taylor Swift is a sype who is working for Joe Biden's campaign. So ridiculous and stupid. Trump works 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have small-town relatives who believe this. Joe Biden is a reptile because of one TikTok he saw where his face looked fucked up. Co-worker told me she wouldn't get the COVID vaccine because it contained baby bits. My boss at my old job telling me for years that a promotion was about to open up. Someone claimed she cured flesh-eating bacteria by putting hot towels on it. That people can communicate with the dead and be possessed by demons. Pepsi and Coca-Cola taste the same and is made in the same factory. That black people came from the same place dinosaurs did. The moon. Something, the deep state, something. That my dead husband is watching over me. It's not comforting. Flat earthers, I can't comprehend how they can believe that. They claim that the world is only 2,000 years old.